Hi, this is Dottie. I'd like to share with you a video on practice that I've been working on the last couple of weeks since I did a course, a short workshop actually, on energetic assessment. And this is going to be a multi-part series, so I think it's going to be 3 videos. Might do a 4th one to kind of summarize things at the end and wrap it up. So this first one is the first step of the exercise, and the exercise is an energetic assessment. And the purpose of this is to really take a sober, honest, candid look at what you're doing, why you're doing it, some of the things that are around all of the activities that we do. So many people, I read recently that 42% of women are burned out. And, we can often take on things and say yes to many things without a lot of discernment. And oftentimes we end up with so much on our plate and we don't even realize all of the things that are there. So this activity, energetic assessment, the first step is to take a blank sheet of paper, and I'd like you to do this handwritten. There is so much power in using your hand and handwriting with a pen or a pencil. I personally like to use my colored pencils. So if you've got some of those, I've got a bunch of them, and that's how I like to do it. Or with colored markers, increases the creativity. And you're going to, on the first piece of paper, blank piece of paper, you can use an 8.5 by 11, or as I did it in a notebook, so that I have this for, to kind of keep longer term. So you can either do it on blank sheets of paper, or you can do it inside of a notebook. And you're gonna put on the first one, what's on my table, or what is on my table. And I think I put what's on your table. And you're going to list there everything that you do, everything. Things that you do daily, things that you do weekly, things that you do monthly, things that you do once a year, taxes, bookkeeping, driving the kids to, practice, shopping, grocery shopping, eating, things that take time in your day. Anything, sitting down and vegging in front of the TV after dinner, or reading a book, or meditating, or working out, hiking on the weekends, whatever it is you do, it goes on this piece of paper. And when I'm finished, and I keep adding things because I realize I've forgotten things, this is what mine looked like. It's a pretty full piece of paper. And allow yourself, if you're really organized and you really want to just do things very straight in columns, that's fine. Allow yourself to be messy with this. Don't write too big, because you're going to find that you'll have forgotten things, and there's things that you want to add to what's on your table. I'm going to take you into the second step of this exercise, because there's a lot of value just in these first 2 steps of the exercise. First of all, I think you'll be surprised when you start filling it in, and all of a sudden, you do something and you're like, oh my gosh, that's not on my table. So the second thing that you're going to do is you're going to take 7 separate sheets, and you're going to you can put energetic assessment on it or not, but you're going to label at the top. You're going to create 3 columns. You don't have to put the lines, but just know that we're going to work on the second 2 columns in the next videos. And so this first column is going to be the what. So after you've taken some time, and give yourself, 10, 15 minutes, half hour, whatever you feel you need to create your table, okay? And on top of these 7 different sheets of paper, you're going to put these labels: relationships, and I'll put these in the email, and there'll be a template that goes with the email as well, but relationships, physical, spiritual, work or vocation, work/vocation, personal growth, play, and then other random stuff. And what you're going to do is you're going to take everything from your table, and you're then going to start to categorize it across all of those different sheets. So you'll see this one is my relationship one, and I've taken anything that had to do with relationship, traveling with my daughter, going out to dinner with my husband, motorcycle bike nights with my husband, all of these different things. Those are different things that are part of my relationship, things that I do in my relationship. And it could be friend relationships, going out to shows with my friends, anything like that. That all goes in relationships. So you're going to categorize everything on your table and put it into one of those 7 categories. Again, the categories are relationships, physical, spiritual, work/vocation, personal growth, play, and other random stuff. I actually put some things on multiple lists. You'll find out why in the next video. But if you feel like some things might go under both work and personal growth, feel free to put it on both, because you might be doing them differently. As a bonus, what you could do is, once you've transferred all of that, you could put how many, what's the frequency? Like, just right next to each one of those, what's the frequency in which you do those? That might be helpful. This exercise in and of itself can be very enlightening. For example, when I did mine and I listed everything that I do for physical, big long list, lots of stuff that I do for my physical body. When I listed out the things on my list that are and I'm going to cover these up because I don't want to talk about those yet. My spiritual, there wasn't that much. And it's not what I noticed. I mean, literally, I noticed immediately that there's not a lot on the list, and there's not a lot that I do every day. There's things that I do randomly, and there's some things now that I'm just looking over at a book where I read a little passage every day from an inspirational writer, and that's not something I have on my list, so I can add that to my list. And it can be very enlightening, just this very first step, to start to see where are the things that you do every day, what category do they fall in, and spend a little time with this. Do a little bit of reflection on, where are areas where maybe you have less in your list. Like maybe your playlist is, rather short, and maybe you realize, hey, maybe I need to be, moving some things around and carving a little bit more time out for play, and maybe less time for, the physical exercise or things that I'm doing, or maybe a little less time work, maybe because I'm working remote, I'm doing more work than I would normally. So great insights that you can grab just from this. And the next video, we're going to dive deeper, and we're going to really look into the next level of really analyzing what's on your table and finding ways to maybe divest some of the things that you do because of what it's bringing you and why you're doing it. And maybe there's things that you need to amplify or expand. Like I just, in my last couple weeks in reviewing this, I realized that with my spiritual aspect, because, my spiritual practices have changed over the last couple of years, and I'm finding myself doing less. And now I'm realizing I probably need to add a little bit more there. So I hope you find this insightful, and look for the next video within the next week. There'll be an email outlining, and I'll explain again, what the first steps of the process were, and then we'll go into the second step, which is a little bit deeper and a little bit more reflective on this whole process. Thanks.